Are you there, Frank? This is a little darker. Are you there, Frank? Okay. Sorry about that. Anybody watching? I'm uh, I'm here right now with Frank. He's gonna ask me questions, and that's what I've been waiting for, and that's the big reason why I started this. All right, and I know you're here, Frank. So you have any questions? Let me know, and I'll know that you are asking me a question with the. You trying to say that I like the Snarks? Absolutely. I don't have the Snorks, by the way. I know it's part of the MOD manufacture on demand thing. And by the way, I do know when you ask me a question, Frank, because it'll let me know when what the question is on the side. I don't think I've seen Magic Flute movie, Frank. The Smurfs and the Magic Flute. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I don't even have it on DVD or Blu-ray. Got a little itchy nose, and I apologize. I sometimes get an itchy nose here and there. So, how's the quality of the video? I think I can do audio on here too, but I'm not sure. I haven't watched it yet, Frank. Eventually I will. I still got to see the Smurfs too, because I the only movie that I've seen is the first Smurfs, which I didn't. I actually did like that one. I just haven't seen the Smurfs 2 and the Lost Village that you sent me. I just haven't had the time. That's the problem. I've been so busy, and I just haven't had the time to do so. That's mainly why I haven't watched all of the things that you sent me. Of course, the movies that I did watch, I already mentioned, and like I said, I saw Condor Man, Flintstones in WWE, Stone Age SmackDown, and Twice Upon a Time. And of course, I've already seen Cool Runnings, so I know how good that movie is. And I don't really need glasses, by the way. These are my older glasses. I gotta get new ones. Just wanted to let you know, Frank. Eventually, sometime in the springtime, maybe I'll get some new ones. Get to see my big head. ah. Got something in my eye, that's the problem. I had something in my eyes. I do apologize for that, folks that are watching. I did a rant last week, I think. It was mostly about why I don't do milestone videos. And that's because, like I mentioned, it's just because most of my subscribers possibly don't even watch my videos anymore, or used to, or they might be just sub for subs. I know you watch my videos, Frank, so you're a good supporter of my channel. And I consider you one of my best friends too. I talk to you quite a bit when you're on Facebook and stuff. I care a lot about you, you know. I wish I could meet you face to face. I know that you live in Florida and stuff. I don't think that's gone through yet. I think that's still in a state. It could happen, but I'm not sure. So far, I haven't heard nothing. So right now, until the news becomes official, we're not going to know about the Disney Fox deal. What do you think of the live stream, by the way, Frank? I just had to ask. Oh, of course I still like The Simpsons, Frank. I actually got season 18 of The Simpsons back in December. I still have my channel, Simpsons Fan 1981. I just haven't been watching The Simpsons because I've been so busy. I have seasons 1 through 18 on DVD, I have season 20 on Blu-ray, and I have the movie on DVD. Hopefully there'll be a season 19. And hopefully if they re-release season 20, hopefully that'll be on both DVD and Blu-ray. If not, I'll just get the DVD with the bonus features. It's not a big deal. But I do hope that Fox releases the seasons that were originally in HD on Blu-ray. I think I asked that question to Zarin Isaac too. I asked him what happens if it's only DVD for the 20th season. Will you get the Blu-ray for the 20th season that was originally released? And he asked me, yes, he would. Of course, I still have my copy of the 20th season on Blu-ray. And the reason why I got it, just in case. I was quite disappointed that there were no bonus features on it, though. See, Even though I haven't watched a single Simpsons episode in quite a bit of time, I still like The Simpsons. I used to collect for The Simpsons when there was quite a bit of merchandise. There's hardly any merchandise anymore for the show. I wish there still was. There were some things that I couldn't even get when it comes to The Simpsons, like the Lego Simpsons thing. That was about $200, and I wasn't able to get that. I wish I could have, but I didn't have the money at the time. So I lost out when it came to the Lego Simpsons thing. The Simpsons house. I know that YouTube user Mike Javons, I think that's how it's pronounced, Mike Javons, he did a review on the Simpsons house Legos. He was one of the ones on YouTube that did that. I liked his videos when it comes to the infomercials. That's how I got into his channel. How I started to like his channel and stuff. A lot of the stuff that he reviewed for certain products that were infomercials. Yeah, he did a review on the Lego Simpsons house. Too bad it's just me and you, Frank, for this live stream. I will tell you, if a lot of people watched my videos and watched my live streams, I don't think it'd be like this. I think it would be more than one person watching. But that's okay, Frank. Like I said, you're always welcome to ask me questions and whatever not. I wish I could meet in real life, you know. Ugh. My eyes are bothering me, and that's just because I've been rubbing them and I'm trying to get stuff out of them. Ugh, I'll be fine though. How's the quality of the stream, Frank? Is it good? Thank you. I just had to ask. So I did quite a bit of test earlier to see how it was. If you have any questions, let me know. Your questions are always welcome. Hopefully when I do another Q&A, I'll do something like this. And that's to all my subscribers. All comments are appreciated, you know. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, I think I talked about it when I was talking to you. This is what the book looks like. It's huge. This is the book that I was talking about with you on Facebook. Hopefully I'll do a future review on it. And for people that are watching this after the live stream is over, I will do a review on this. It's a huge book. It's a very thick book. Are you interested in getting that, Frank? Because I know you like Disney. I've heard of it, but I've never watched it. Never watched it at all, Frank. Someday I'd like to, like you and me to do like a co-live stream, like where we talk about stuff and whatever not. I was never married, Frank. I was never married, and my child's asleep. And as for the one that I was with, I'll be talking about that in the near future, because I haven't talked about that yet. It's a long story. Why, you said wife, Frank. That means married. See, when you say wife, Frank, that means that a person has gotten married. Remember that. You didn't say anything about married, but wife is. Oh, I'm sorry, Frank. It wasn't you that said that. Somebody else is on. I didn't notice. I do apologize, Frank. I really do. Hi, Dominic. What's up? Me and Frank have been talking together. He's been asking me questions because that's what the description is, the title of this video. I do apologize, Dominic. I do apologize. Yeah, Dominic, I was never married, so. And yes, I did have a girlfriend, but it's a long story. So, Frank, did you want to ask me any questions? I know that another person's watching right now, Dominic. You probably know that by the live chat. See, I thought you said it, but then I read the chat thing, and then I realized no, it was Dominic. I do apologize, okay, Frank. See, I had my glasses off, and that was why. Uh, I don't collect comics, but I know Frank has sent me some. And does it matter if I'm a Christian? Said it don't matter if I'm a Christian. It makes no difference. Like I said, comments are always welcome. Yeah, this is the first time I ever done something like this. I did tests earlier when it came to this software. I had to get encoding software just to do this live stream. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to live stream. The webcam thing, the webcam option that has been around for quite a bit of weeks, I'm not allowed to use that because Google said it wasn't compatible. I don't think there would have been another Pinocchio, Frank. I really don't think there would have been another Pinocchio. I'm fine with the live action movie Pinocchio, but I doubt that there was ever going to be a sequel. Because the thing about it is, and you probably didn't know about this, there was one person that did books on Pinocchio, and these were mostly unauthorized sequels. You probably didn't know that, Frank, did you? It's in that one book that I actually got a month or so ago, and it talks about it. As for a Disney sequel to Pinocchio, I don't think it's going to happen. Obviously, by the way, that one person that said that wasn't sure if I was a Christian left the chat, I think. It didn't matter. Obviously, it didn't. Yeah. And by the way, have I seen any other movies of Pinocchio? Uh, I've seen pieces of the one with Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and that was from '96. And there was a 1978 that can be watched on YouTube. I also watched that as well. I've not seen what's that one with Roberto Bernini or whatever. What's his name? Someday I'd like to check that out and watch the original version, not the dub version, the original version, because I heard the dub version sucked. Because they dubbed Roberto Bernini's lines with Seth Meyers'. I think Seth Meyers, but I'm not sure who it was. And unfortunately, that turned out to be a terrible decision. And I think that's all that I've seen of Pinocchio. And there was even a fairy tale of Pinocchio as well, which is a terrible adaptation of the actual book. I showed that to my child. Unfortunately, I didn't care for it. Hopefully, someday I'll have my child watch Pinocchio for real. And hopefully someday, I will show many of my Disney DVDs and Blu-rays to my child. It'd be cool. And I do apologize for the bad connection. Because I'm now having a problem with this sucker. And no, I do not have Mighty Mouse New Adventure Complete Series DVD. Unfortunately, Frank. I'm checking your comments, guys. That's the reason why I'm looking. Dominic says I can send you some stuff for free. And do I like any cartoons from the 30s and 50s? Yes. That's easy. Especially with Looney Tunes and Popeye, the Disney stuff, Tom and Jerry. You have to realize too, Frank, that Looney Tunes and uh, the Disney stuff, Tom and Jerry, and there's quite a bit of series that kind of got started in the 30s and stuff, and even in the 1920s. And Dominic says, "Do you remember Dragon's Lair video game cartoon on TV?" I know about the video games, and I did watch an episode of Dragon's Lair when it was on, when there was a free preview of Boomerang. I did at least watch one episode of Dragon's Lair. So there you go, Dominic. And surprisingly, this turned into a Q&A of sorts. Because it's not just you, Frank, anymore. It's also Dominic as well. But that's alright. Anybody can ask me a question, and it won't matter to me. Especially you, Frank. See, Dominic, me and Frank have been talking together for quite a bit of time, for quite a bit of years. And by the way, the comics question, I have collected some comics, but it was mostly Sonic the Hedgehog, and most of the Sonic the Hedgehog stuff that I used to have, I don't anymore. Some Sonic the Hedgehog comics Frank sent me, and I have done some unboxings that Frank has sent to me. Also, Don Bluth wants to actually make it an animated movie. That's cool. I know that he made the games. I know he made the first one, and there was a sequel, which I tried to play, because back in the day, Frank, there was an arcade game called Dragon's Lair 2, and I saw the arcade version once, and I didn't know how to play it. This was back when I was probably 10 or 11 years old. He also did that one, and he also did Space Ace. He did those games. And I don't, I never, I think I played Dragon's Lair once, and that was at Disney World. But I never played Space Ace. I never played the actual arcade version of Space Ace. So there you go, Frank. And they are hard. I could tell that they were hard, especially when I got to play them. I got to play the first Dragon's Lair at Disney, and Dragon's Lair 2 I couldn't actually play. I didn't know how to play it at the time when there was an actual arcade cabinet. I don't remember where, but it was between 10 or 11 years old, and I was between 10 or 11 years old, and I didn't know how to play it. So looks like Dominic left the building. I guess it's just me and you, Frank. Yeah, and I know that they're hard, and there's quite a bit of quite a bit of ports. Unfortunately, the NES version sucked. I don't consider it one of the worst games, but it's definitely one of the most hardest games possibly ever for the NES. You're still here, Frank, right? I'm not sure. Oh, I definitely played DuckTales because I have it, and I have Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers for the NES. I had to re-get Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers because my original copy, something happened to it. I still have my DuckTales copy from years ago. Years. And I only played Darkwing Duck and Tailspin through an emulator. I never actually owned those. And I played DuckTales 2 and Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2 on an emulator as well. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers is the second one is hard to get. Of course I played Bucky O'Hare, Frank. That's because back in the day, back in 1992, I actually got it for my birthday. And I actually beat the game, Frank. I had to re-get a copy, and it cost me about $45 on eBay. My original copy, something happened to it, and I don't know what happened to it. But I had it back in the day. And that's because I was a fan of the TV series. And that's mainly the reason why I got Bucky O'Hare for the NES. See, I was a big fan of Bucky O'Hare, and I got into the animated series. It was a shame that the show ended after one season and hasn't been re-aired in the U.S. since 1992. It's been almost 30 years since Bucky O'Hare aired in the United States. There was a UK DVD release, but that was it. We never got a DVD release in the United States. And I do gotta ask you, Frank, how much did you have to pay for DuckTales 2 and Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2 together? Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, I think, is over $100 now. Yeah, I'm just waiting for your answer, Frank. And that's all that I'm waiting for, because some of the questions you ask me are sometimes delayed. That's not a big deal, though. Oh my God! You only paid like $40 or $50. Holy cow! When did you get them? You must have got them way back before they even became expensive. Because I know that the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2 one is over $100. And when I got Bucky O'Hare for the NES, I had to pay $45, and it wasn't like that back when video game collecting wasn't really a thing. See, Frank, you got it back when video game collecting wasn't a thing. You were lucky, man. You are really lucky to own those. Because unfortunately, I wasn't one of the ones. I did read about Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2 in a video game magazine at one time, but I never actually got the game. If I would have known about that, I probably would have gotten the game back then. Fortunately, my original copy of Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers was lost or either stolen, and I wasn't able to get it anymore. Of course, I waited until decades to get the original game, because I used to have the original game of Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers back in the day. It's unfortunate that some of my games that I used to have, I assume that it was okay, Frank, when it comes to Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2. Not. I don't think everybody cares for that game. I know that Corn Shack didn't care for it and considered it one of the worst. One of the worst. What's? Because he put it on a top 10 list. Yeah. See, you were, like I said, you were pretty lucky to get those back in the day. You were pretty lucky. By the way, are you having fun with the stream, Frank? Hopefully you are. Alright. Oh, I know. I've had DuckTales for a very long time. The only problem is, I ruined the label. I ruined the label. Hopefully I'll get a replacement label. See, I'm just relaxing right now. And you, of course, are asking me questions. Oh, I live in New York State, Dominic, just to let you know. My friend Frank lives in Florida. Ever heard of Frank, Dominic? I just had to ask. I'm glad that you're back. I will say that. I just wanted to see how many were in the chat. Oh, you used to live in Florida. That's good. Frank lives in Florida. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you know him. Oh, you live in Glen Falls. I assume that's around New York City, am I right? And Frank, no, I have never played the Spot NES game, but I have played Cool Spot for the Super Nintendo. I like that game. Oh, I live in upstate New York too. I just wanted to let you know. I live near Lake Ontario. And by the way, Dominic, uh, meet my friend Frank. And of course, Frank, this is Dominic. If you were meeting face to face, of course. This is sometimes hard to hold, especially when I'm laying down a little. It's alright. And Dominic is looking to open up an online comic and whatever store. And by the way, Frank, what's my favorite Peanuts special? I think my favorite Peanut special is, what's that? A Charlie Brown Christmas. That's my favorite. It's the Great Pumpkin. Charlie Brown would have to be the second one. I'm a big fan of Peanuts, by the way, Dominic, just to let you know. That's why Frank was asking me that question. That's a tough one, Frank. I did like the Peanuts movie, even though there were some flaws. Uh, this would be a tough one for me. I did like Snoopy Come Home, and Snoopy Could Come Home would be one of them, and I and I think the Peanuts movie and Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown. I did like a boy named Charlie Brown. I did like that one too. I liked all the movies. I didn't really think that any of them was bad. So I've seen all five movies. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one, Frank. That's a good movie. I did like that one too. That was the third animated movie, and I think it was from 1977. Yeah, from 1977, I think. And what was cool about Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown, was, of course, they had a race, and they were split up into teams. I haven't seen that movie in quite a while, though. Yes, I have actually. When they decided to stop doing the Peanuts DVD collections, those ones that were decades, the decade Peanut DVDs. They did the 1960s one, and then they did the 1970s one in 2 volumes, and that was it. They didn't do the 1980s one, and I was very disappointed when they went back to just regular DVDs with one or two shorts. I didn't care for that. And that was one of the main reasons why I didn't get much Peanuts DVDs. With the exception of the movies and certain specials. Yeah, I wish they would still continue the Peanuts collection DVDs and do the 1980s one in a couple of volumes. That would have been good. I'd like wanted to do that. I'm still disappointed that they haven't done anything like that in quite a bit of years. Yeah, and sadly, that will. I don't think that's on any DVD release. I don't think it is. I don't think they ever released it. It's all right if you like the Flash Beagle, Charlie Brown. But I already said my favorite Peanut special. I'm just looking for my glasses. That's all. Oh, okay. So the Flash Beagle is your favorite. And I don't think it's on DVD. But I'm not sure if it's on DVD. It might be on one of those regular DVD releases of the Peanuts Warner releases. I do get to ask you a question. Are you excited about Gravity Falls being released on DVD and Blu-ray? Just had to ask, and I'll wait for your answer. That's not a big deal. You'll let me know. Yeah, this has a slight delay, so I might not get your questions right away, or whatever you are saying to me. Okay. I'm kind of excited too. I watched a couple of the episodes, and I really enjoyed some of those episodes. Hopefully, I'll watch more of the series when the set comes out. All right, I gotta show you something, Frank. And of course, I got every single complete Peanuts books, and I at least got one of the Peanuts Every Sunday box sets, and that's most of my DVD and Blu-ray box sets. Big stack, as I should say. Alright. Was that pretty cool or what? Just to see the other camera focus? See, the tablet that I have has two cameras, so I can switch between both of them if I wanted to. And Frank, I am charging. And by the way, thank you. If I can even. Okay. I even got a huge tablet. And these are for people that are watching after the live stream's over. I'm using my smaller one for now, so that way I can use my bigger one if I really need to. Okay, I'm gonna put that back on the charger. Okay, it's at 54%. I'm only going to be continuing this stream until it gets down to probably this one gets down to like 25%. It's at 36% right now. So if there's any other questions, let me know. And you probably already heard me when I said thank you for answering what you just saw with the other camera. Now I got a pretty good I got a pretty good collection. It's a lot, by the way. The only thing I didn't show. What's this? All the He-Man sets. My Flintstone sets. The original box set versions included. Sadly, I only got the official Jetsons releases. That's alright. Johnny Quest. Wacky Raceless. The Yogi Bear Show. And of course, I got Garfield and Friends, which I've already showed. And Star Wars. And certain others. I'm trying to get this situated. That's okay. That's for other people that wanted to see my collection after the live stream's over. So I got a pretty big collection. Hold on a minute. I'm going to be doing a review on this in the near future. That's pretty much all I got to show for now. Is there any other questions, Frank, that you wanted to ask me? Tired though, but I'll be alright. Not yet. Not yet, Frank. I will. I will, though, eventually. I know one of my friends has. And that, of course, is Beetlejuice, which I did not show when I did my What I Got live, unfortunately. At least you got to see it now. That's another Shoutback set. It's a lot cheaper nowadays, which is cool. It used to be expensive. And yes, I have seen Camp Candy. Seen it back in the day, actually. When it was on NBC. Of course, John Candy was in it. Just like with Cool Runnings, the one that you sent me. I have seen a couple of his films. He was in Home Alone. He was in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. He was in Who's Harry Crumb, Uncle Buck, Delirious, Wagons East, Canadian Bacon, Stripes. Forgot about Stripes. 1940 something. I can't think of the title. The Great Outdoors is another one, Frank. Yes, I have seen that one with Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, he did the theme song of the Flintstones in the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Yes, I have. I think I've seen that one too. That was another movie he was in. Oh, another movie that he was in, Brewster's Millions. I forgot about that one. Oh, he was in Splash, I think. I think he was in Splash as well, with Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah. Yeah, I know. I knew he did a cameo, and he wasn't in Ghostbusters. So. Of course, I've seen the Ghostbusters movies. I've seen every single one. I've seen the first, second, and the reboot. My problem with the reboot was it was more like the original 1984 film, and that was the only real thing I didn't like about it. So as a result, I didn't really care for the 2016 movie. I liked the first movie. The 1984 Ghostbusters movie was the best. Two wasn't too bad. Which one? The second one, or the reboot? Because I wasn't sure which one you were talking about. My problem with the reboot, like I said, it was more like the first Ghostbusters 1984 movie. Okay, I understand. The acting wasn't too bad. I didn't think the acting was too bad, and the visual effects was good. It was just the story felt like a rehash of the first Ghostbusters movie from 1984. And I do like the real Ghostbusters, by the way. I have the box set. There's another box set that came out, but it was expensive. But the original box set was expensive too, but not as expensive as the original. I saw the box set that Sony released, and it was like $50, and it was at Walmart. And that was a month or so ago. I never bought it though. It's the same volumes that were released, and it didn't have all the episodes, so. Eventually, eventually, I want to see what was it, Swiss Family Robinson. I do want to see that movie eventually. The one that you actually got me. How did you think it was? Um, what What's your opinion about Swiss Family Robinson? I know there was another uh, because this is the second Swiss Family Robinson that was in theaters. There was another one decades back. I can't think when it was released. Oh, that's good. That is good. Hopefully, I will like it too, because I haven't seen it yet. Because, and I haven't seen The Rocketeer in a long time either. I have seen Cool Runnings, and I have seen The Rocketeer. Those you sent me. Someday I will see. I will eventually see the Boogity movies that you sent me. I'll probably watch those in October. I don't think I've ever seen a Love Bug movie, Frank. Eventually, I'd like to see those. The Disney movies that I've seen, I've seen quite a bit of 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I've seen the entirety of the Black Hole. I've seen Tron. I've seen the Journey of Natty Gann. I've seen Pollyanna. I've seen Mary Poppins. I've seen The Parent Trap, both the 1997 and the original 1961 movie. Um, I saw In Search of the Castaways. I've seen the first Mighty Ducks, and I, I've seen the second Mighty Ducks movie. I've never seen the third one. That's the only one that. Oh, wait a minute. I have seen all three movies. Now that I think of it, I've seen all three movies. I watched the third movie around sometime a couple of years back. And what else have I seen? The one and only genuine Family Band. I've seen that. Unfortunately, it wasn't that good. I saw what's it? The something in the Rose. I can't not now I can't think of it. I watched it a month ago. It was on the what's it? The the TCM thing. The TCM in search of in search of the Disney Vault. I think it was. What what else have I seen? I think I've seen the I've seen the Flubber, which was the remake by Robin Williams. I've seen Jungle to Jungle. I've seen 101 and 102 Dalmatians. I've I've watched what else? There's quite a bit of movies that I've actually seen. Snow Dogs I've seen because you were talking about that with me on Facebook. Um, what else? Glory Road. Remember the Titans. See, I'm trying to think of Disney movies I've seen. Heavyweights I've seen. I thought that was good. I have seen Heavyweights, Frank. I watched that back in the 90s when it was on TV. And I actually enjoyed it back then. What else have I seen? The Absent-Minded Professor, I've seen that. I watched it a long time though with Fred McMurray. Okay, what else? Pete's Dragon. Pete's Dragon, I forgot about Pete's Dragon. See, sometimes it's hard to think of what Disney live action movies I've seen. Because I have seen quite a bit, and some of which I've not seen. There's been a lot of live action movies. No, I have not watched any of the White Fang movies, unfortunately. I would like to see the first one. Oh, wait a minute. There was a movie that I do remember seeing. That's Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey, and I think I've seen the second one. Oh, and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and We Blew Up the Kid. I've seen those. I've seen those too. Man in the House, I've never actually watched. So, unfortunately, Man in the House, no. No, I have not seen The Adventures of Huck Finn. I've heard of it, though. No, that's another one with Jonathan Taylor Thomas. And I'm not sure if this was a Disney movie. Wild America? I'm not sure if that was a Disney movie. I've seen bits and pieces of Wild America. I remember that movie. Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know about that. I had no idea. I wasn't sure if Wild America was Disney or or another company. Oh, by the way, do you know that know which movie that I watched this week? I didn't know about the Huck Finn movies, by the way. You know what I watched this week, Frank? I watched this movie. This was one of the movies that I watched besides the at least two of the movies that you gave me. And I thought this was really enjoyable. Yeah, and this is not for kids, so do not have your kid watch this. I don't know if you've seen it, Frank. Just had to ask. I did really enjoy this. Oh, and another movie that I watched was Mazes and Monsters, and that's available on YouTube. And I didn't care for Mazes and Monsters. I'll never watch that movie again. That's a TV movie, by the way. Unfortunately, I never watched that series, Frank. I've heard of it, and I've actually seen an infomercial about the show being on DVD. Did you know that there was a DVD infomercial about Wild America, Frank? So I've heard of the TV series. Never watched it back in the day, though. And by the way, anybody, I noticed that somebody else is in here. If you have any questions, let me know. It's not a big deal. Because pretty soon I'm gonna end the stream because the battery life that I'm excuse me, the battery life for the the device I'm using, the battery life is going kaput. And I do have Kangaroo Jack, but I've never watched it. Got it on DVD, by the way, Frank. Because I did say around 26 or 25% on my device. Whenever I said about the battery life on here, I was going to end the stream. Because right now it's at 27%. And I think I said around 26 or 25%. You know, I'll probably end the stream when it hits 2 o'clock because it's almost 2 o'clock now. There's like 7 minutes. So if you have any more questions, Frank, let me know. And I don't think I've ever seen the Goofy short called Motomania. I have seen the Goofy short called Goofy and Wilbur, but that's all that I actually remember seeing. Yeah. And there is actually 6 minutes left. And my device that I'm using is down to 26%. Yeah, and I'm getting tired. Have any more questions? I have not seen the Angry Birds movie yet. I do have it on Blu-ray, but I have not watched it. Hopefully, I'll watch it eventually. I do like the Angry Birds game. I got the first game on on one of my old tablets, and I did like the first game. So. And I've heard of the Angry Birds series, but I haven't actually seen in a single episode. So there's only 4 minutes left until 2 o'clock. I can see the time with the device I'm using, so I actually know the time. There might be a slight delay of the stream that you're watching. Yes, I have. I've seen Baby's Day Out, Frank. It's not to be taken seriously. I think it's a fun comedy, and it's not really meant to be taken seriously. I've only seen the first two Home Alone movies, and those are the only two I will see. Home Alone 3 I heard wasn't too bad, but the rest of the ones I heard suck. One of the YouTube users that used to be living now, unfortunately he passed away last year, was Elmer Prevost, and he reviewed a Home Alone movie, and I think it was the fourth one, and he didn't care for it at all. He hated it, and he never liked the Home Alone movies. And I only liked the first two anyway, so I saw the second one in the theater. The first one I didn't get to see until it came to VHS, so I've only seen the first two. I'll take one more question, Frank, by the way. Whatever you want to ask. Because it is 2 o'clock. Yes, I have. Yes, I have, Frank, and I actually did enjoy that movie. And I've also seen Space Jam too. I don't have Space Jam on DVD or Blu-ray, but I do have Looney Tunes Back in Action on DVD, and I did like it. I thought it was fun. Well, Frank, it's past 2 o'clock, and my device is under 25% of battery life, so I'm going to cut it right here, and I hope you enjoyed asking me questions. This will be also on YouTube for people that weren't a part of the live stream. So that way, if you really enjoyed the stream, hit the like button. And I'd like to thank you very much, Frank, for asking me questions, and I will catch you next time. And you can ask me any question at any time, and I might do another one of these types of videos with you in the near future. Alright, thank you very much, Frank, and I'll say good night to you. And for the rest of you that are watching after the live stream, and I also like to thank everybody that was a part of the live stream. Alright, peace out, And good night, everybody. Thank you very much for watching.